What's up, guys? I wasn't able to, yeah, I just got done working out. That's why I'm so sweaty and I'm a little bit out of breath. But, I wasn't able to, make my video back at my camp today. So I'm kind of just, like, making it a little bit closer to town. Next to, like, a gas station. And, because, like, basically I went to make it and then suddenly my phone just shut down even though I had 47% battery left. My phone is a little bit messed up. It's kind of shitty, but I'm not complaining about it because I'm lucky to have a phone. But like, anyways, today, so like a few days ago I made this video about how heaven and hell are sort of like states of mind. Like, hell is when you like focus on the outside world and focus on gaining possessions and focus on all the suffering in the outside world rather than focusing on finding happiness within yourself. And I wanted to kind of like make a video adding to that theory a little bit, except this one's gonna be about like my personal understanding of like who the devil is and what the devil actually is. Well, I shouldn't say who because it's more of a what, in my opinion. So basically, my understanding is that the devil isn't like an actual person. It's not a person that's like whispering things in your ear and trying to get you to commit sins. It's more so the part of your brain that urges you to seek pleasure externally and urges you to focus on the outside world rather than focus on your internal universe. It urges you to focus externally rather than internally. And so like the devil is basically that voice that's inside of you. Like, whereas like hell is focusing on the things that you want outside of yourself, hell is that voice, the devil is that voice that's inside of you that says, I want that, when you look at something. And that's what leads to hell, basically. And so, in a manner of speaking, the devil is in a way trying to lead you on a path that will take you to hell, but it's not the way that most people describe it. It's not the way that most people think it is. It's symbolic of your internal desire to gain more, and hell is symbolic of that always seeking outside oneself in order to gain more. And so basically, like, I also wanted to talk about something like a little bit of the book Genesis, where it talks about the war between the war that took place in heaven and what that could actually mean, what that could represent. Basically, it's all based on it's based on your internal struggle. It's representative of the fight between good and evil, the constant fight between good and evil that goes on inside yourself. Because as I discussed in the last video, and as I quoted, as the quote, the kingdom of heaven within you is within you, that Jesus said, explains, basically, like, if we're to take that and apply it to what I'm saying, it actually makes a lot of sense. Because if the kingdom of heaven is within you, and there was a battle that took place in heaven between God, Satan, and the angels and the fallen angels, then it would make perfect sense that the devil would be somebody that's also something that's also inside of you, that's waging a constant war against the kingdom of heaven. And so I also wanted to talk a little bit about a passage in Revelations that I found to be interesting. It says, during the end times, there will come a point where heaven will be destroyed and the earth will be destroyed, and there will be a new heaven and a new earth, and they will come together as one, or something along those lines. Actually, it might actually not say, well, actually I think it does say a new heaven and a new earth, but it also says that the kingdom of Jerusalem, the holy city of Jerusalem, will be destroyed, and a new Jerusalem will descend from heaven down from the sky and be planted on the new earth and the new heaven. Wait, I misspoke there. It didn't say it would descend from heaven. It said that it would descend from the sky. Because now remember, at this point, heaven and earth are one. They have merged together. And so what this could represent, what I think this actually is representative of, is the awakening of consciousness on earth and the ceasing of the thoughts of separation between the external universe and the internal universe. Basically, everybody will realize that the external is not separate from the internal, and in order to have peace in your external life, you have to first have peace in your internal life, and people will begin to understand that in mass amounts. Everybody will begin to see it that way, and everybody will begin to understand. That's why it's called That's part of why it's called Revelations, because these things are being revealed to our consciousness through the understanding that nothing is separate. And so that is basically the destruction. The reason why it says that it's destruction is because it's the destruction of the separation between the self and everything else. And so your internal world is merging with the external world and being destroyed and becoming something new, something that's reborn through God and reborn through the universe and reborn through the ceasing of separation. And there was I'm gonna think for a second, because I think that there was something else that I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember. I might be ending the video after this, but I think I want to think for a second and see, because it seemed like it was important to me at the time. So I want to see what it was, see if I can remember what it was. Okay, I can't remember what it was that I wanted to say, but I thought about something new that I wanted to say. Basically, like, the Bible talks about how in the end times the devil will rule over the earth. And what it's actually talking about is materialism. It's talking about the everlasting, it's talking about like this cycle of constantly reaching out for the dollar bill that we found ourselves in. It's constant, this cycle of just constantly wanting more. That's what it's talking about when it says the devil will rule the earth. It's saying that your desire to want more will rule over the earth and block out your connection to God. And that's what the Bible is talking about. And that will... Oh yeah, I remember now. It says, basically the Bible says that thought actually brought me back to the thought I was thinking about before. Basically the Bible also says, from what I remember, that before heaven and the earth are destroyed, and then they become one. It says that it will be hell on earth for a little bit, and that's really interesting considering what else I've said about hell. How hell is basically like that feeling of wanting, that seeking more, seeking after more, and looking towards the external universe for the things that we want, for pleasure, instead of looking for the looking at the internal universe. Because basically the devil ruling over the earth is that desire for more, and it will be hell on earth. And so if hell is that seeking for more, and the devil is that voice that tells you to seek for more, then there's a lot of interesting connections to be made there. And I think that's about all I have to say for this video. I love you all. Have a beautiful day. Blessed be. Peace.